Hey there, baseball fans. Tim Lowry, Backfields Media. We are just a day away. I cannot wait for tomorrow night. What is tomorrow night, you ask? The draft, the 2031 eMLB amateur draft, starting tomorrow night at 6. Round one is in the can. Rocky Draws and the commish are working right now to create the first round extravaganza. I can hear the chime in my head. Round two will be live, picking on the fly for all the GMs. And then we'll come back the next night and do it all over again with rounds 3 through 5. Cannot wait. I will be there with this list, comparing where we drafted folks and where they ended up, see where we went wrong, or maybe where we're right. Don't know. If you like this kind of coverage, please give this a like, leave us a comment, and hopefully you've subscribed. This is the home of the eMLB, the best online league in the out of the park community. And you can watch us on Twitch. You see the link there. Thursday nights, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. for game of the night, usually. Sunday, 10 a.m., coffee with the commish. We're in that mid-season. Going to be a big push for the 2031 World Series crown coming up in the next month or so. All right. We're here for the final round of our picks number 101 to 132 on the big board's fourth round. Let's jump right in. Luis Alvarado is our 101st ranked player on our board. The 23-year-old from Island Park, New York, is a switch-hitting shortstop, goes to Georgetown University. Plus to elite infield defense, all of the core defensive skills rate plus. Just a phenomenal glove. The bat and the running below average. Can steal a base, kind of an average base stealer. But Louis is going to earn his living with his glove and can play everywhere. Even can play left field reasonably well. And you would think with that arm could potentially see some right field well. So this could be a super defensive sub on somebody's team. Could also play up a little bit of the bat, try to work that up a little. Luis Alvarado coming in at number 101 on the draft board. Next, Deshaun Manyweather, 21-year-old right-handed second baseman from Jersey City, New Jersey, playing his college ball at North Carolina Central. Has really good speed on the bases, well above his overall straight line speed, although that is above average as well. Really good infield defensive range, plays second base really well. And you see with the defensive profile, that would probably tend to play the best for him, second base. Although he could be below average, slightly below average at third or short. Good instincts as far as turning the double play, has sure-handedness. It's the speed that is going to keep him there in the majors. Gap power, kind of surprising there. That's above average, will hit line drives. The rest of his contact is going to have to play up in order for him to get serious consideration for a major league spot. But you could see him come in for a cup of coffee or so, be a speed defensive replacement down the far end of the bench. Deshaun Manyweather is our 102 rated prospect. Juan Figueroa comes in at number 103. Again, another plus speed guy. Great corner outfield defense. Also could play center field rather well too. Already is above average at 23 years old for eMLB center field. Has the range, has the arm to play it as well. Really good character traits, adaptable, works hard. Another one with above average gap power. The contact and the eye play slightly below average. This could be a player that sneaks into a lineup. You'd see him probably, if he was an everyday player, it's clearly a second division kind of guy, but could be a bench bat, a good third or fourth or fifth outfielder, rather. And it could get his fair share of starts. Juan Figueroa is a bit of a promising gamble here at number 103. He's on our board. Dan Metz comes in at 104 with near elite gap power. The 21-year-old from Soquel, California. Not playing against the greatest competition in college, but definitely has skills. Got our scouts' attention. His raw power bat grades to slightly below average, will make good contact. And for all that promise in terms of hitting, he's also got speed and can play some defense. Plus speed, grades out to slightly less on the base paths, is just an average base runner and steals guy. Can play all three outfield positions at a plus level. Really good range, good enough arm to play in right field, potentially some. Really like this kid, really all around, well-rounded. The key is going to be how is he going to adjust to minor league pitching and circumstances coming from a less than competitive college environment. He could surprise a lot of people. I think he has the potential to. Dan Metz coming in at number 104 on the Backfields Media draft board. Mike Enslow, the J, 17-year-old left-handed shortstop from Winsted, Connecticut, committed to junior college. Don't think he's going to see that play out. Think he's going to get drafted. Plus contact and gap power, really handles the bat well. A line drive hitter, slashes the ball very quick through the zone. The power slightly below average. Got the young man's ability to just want to swing at everything. He's got the mechanics and the good character traits to nip that in the bud. I think that avoid K is going to rocket up. He will learn that he does not have to swing at everything offered. Plus speed rather. And that shows up in the base running more than the stolen bases. Could be convinced to turn that stealing aggressiveness way down. As you can see, his 2 years in high school, it was a 50-50 proposition. It's not what you want to see in the pros. Can play any infield position, has a really great arm, so I think he's going to be more of a third baseman. But he's got a ways to go. He's played more shortstop than anything else to this point. And he is okay, but I don't think that's where we're going to see him. I think you're going to more than likely see him at third base. Still needs some work, especially with the errors, but that bat will generate a lot of forgiveness for his defensive shortcomings. Mike Enslow, 105 in this draft. At 106, Alfredo Aguiar, 21-year-old from Chicago, Illinois, going to Illinois State. Another plus speed and base running guy, really electric on the base paths. Above average contact, above average core defensive skills, can play all three outfield positions. Tend to see him as more as a left fielder. I know he's played some center field, and you could get away with it there too, I think. don't see him as an eMLB level center fielder, but he could surprise. Um, More of a left fielder with that arm, is a hard worker, struggles to adapt. And I think that might be a challenge as pitchers seem to tend to figure him out. Maybe, and especially even with the steals, you wonder, facing these good left-handers in the minors or in the majors, what's going to become of that. But Alfredo does have the tools. Just a matter of where he gets picked and how he takes to the coaching. Be interesting to see him develop over time. Alfredo Aguilar is our 106 prospect. Ishmael Godoy from Puerto Rico is our 107th pick. He is a catcher, 22-year-old, tall kid from California, goes to California college. Plus catcher, really well defined, already defensively very solid, great blocking. Not the elite like we saw in the last round from a couple of guys, but is not the arm is trailing, but not nearly as much as it was for some of these other prospects. It's a good, well-rounded defensive catcher. Slightly below average bat, has good personality traits, has that relaxed and confident tag that seems to do well. This is the kind of catcher who could support a pitching staff, bring out the best in them. And as we've seen before, major league teams are willing to sacrifice a bit of offense for pitching staff stability. Ishmael Godoy could be that for someone. We'll see where he goes on draft night. He's our 107th prospect. Louis Corcoran comes in at 108, the starting pitcher, 21-year-old right-hander from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Goes to University of Texas at Arlington. 3 above-average pitchers. The slider grades out to be the best, and it's his best pitch right now, as is the cutter. The changeup plays nicely too. So you've got 2 speed pitches going, with motion, and then that changeup will fool hitters. Tops 95 on the gun, has above average control and movement with that pitch mix. That allows him to pitch very deep into games. It's at a premium right now in baseball. Even if you don't exercise it, it's nice to have a guy who in a tight spot could get you that extra inning or 2. He's very adaptable. Teammates seem to like him. I think these skills are going to play up and be that average to above average, especially with the stuff. I like his prospect. Could be a back of the rotation guy. Louis Corcoran coming in at number 108. Amari Boateng comes in at number 109, an extreme ground ball pitcher, the 18-year-old from Chillicothe, Missouri. Committed to Eastern Michigan, is an extreme ground baller, touches 89 on the gun. Plus home run suppression and control. Does not get beat with extra bases a lot. Stuff is going to need some work. You see the potential grade there on the stuff. I don't think that bodes well for a major league career. That said, comes out over time, get some education and some work, can bump that velo up to, lower mid 90s, work that fastball a little bit in with that changeup. There's some potential there. Does have the ability to pitch a little bit there in terms of stamina. Be an interesting flyer. One of these really good pitching-rich organizations that seems to train their pitchers well might do well with him. He is an extreme ground baller. Could be a reliever too. He could come in and get some mop-up duties. Be curious to see where he goes and how he progresses. Amari Boateng comes in at number 109. Followed next with 17-year-old Bobby Arrington, starting pitcher. He's a right-hander from Battle Mountain, Nevada. Goes to Lowry School. They don't spell it right. He's a high school senior. Has plus control, has an above-average fastball. Keeps the ball down, has the mechanics that we think he will have better control and home run suppression. Also think the stuff is going to play up. He's well above his age range right now. And I think that's what appeals. You see him as kind of a lottery pick. Those potential numbers might go off the charts if he gets in the right organization and just lands with the right coaching staff. He's a high work ethic guy, does extra work, has a good throwing regimen, can go a couple of times through the lineup, had a solid high school career for what that's worth. Bobby Arrington would be an interesting prospect. We have him at number 110 on our board. Ron Quattrone is a third baseman who comes in at number 111, 21-year-old from San Antonio, Texas. Going to Savannah State, has above average power and contact, really nice swing, gets the most of his at-bats, will not strike out, hits, I think that normal profile will tip over to line drive soon, and hits the ball with authority. Really good third base play, is an above average defensive third baseman now with a plus arm. Another classic third base profile here. He will not lose you any games on the defensive side. Would like to see the eye develop a little bit, especially with that power. The contact will pull him forward as well. Wants quite a bit this deep, a bonus demand of $1.3 million. Somebody would probably pay that. He has the potential to be, I think he would be a surprise if he was a superstar everyday major leaguer, especially with the third baseman in our league. But a nice little prospect here. Ron Quattrone comes in at number 111. You get another reliever here. Steve Lurie comes in at number 112, 21 years old from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Plays at Youngstown State, has a plus slider. The fastball, sorry, got my stuff wrong there. Keeps the ball down. His scouting thing said he studies hitters' tendencies. I'm the one stuttering right now. The fastball is really solid. The changeup is catching up with it, and that would be a nice secondary pitch if it develops. He's above average to just slightly below average on all of the core pitching ratings. This could be a surprising little reliever, and he's gotten off the 20 line for his overall. So that fastball already has him, being kind of like higher in the minors. Nice to see what he develops into. Touches 98, is a power pitcher, come in and blow hitters away. Like to see what he does there. Steve Lurie is our 112th prospect. Jake Hammond, another reliever, comes in. This one at 113. Good fastball, curveball mix. All the core skills are above average at least. What jumps out at you is the home run suppression, but he'll also have stuff and control. The fastball plays up really well, is just slightly below average now, and he's only 18. Curveball could use some work. He's an extreme ground baller. That will get some scouts' attention. Touches 96. Nice reliever. You could see him being a couple of innings eater. We'll see how he handles high leverage situations. Coming right out of high school, he's going to get some extra chance to develop. Struggles with adaptability. That's a little bit concerning, but we'll see. See what he becomes. If he maxes out his potential, he'd be a major leaguer, in my mind. Jake Hammond comes in 113th. At number 114 is Zach Wallega, 22-year-old right-handed reliever. Above average fastball and curve, really nice mix there. The fastball is ready now and is just getting better. Overall core skills are tracking to average to just below average. The movement, he's ahead of the game right now, but the control and the stuff is potentially growing. He's a power pitcher, touches 98. If the curveball develops, he's going to be hard to face, especially in late innings, high leverage situations. I think he would be really good. Struck out over an inning last year in college against great competition. So could be ready. The scouts don't feel like he's got a high potential for the future. That said, he's a reliever. They can surprise you. They look great and end up being nothing, or they can look kind of average and end up being a star. We'll see which one Zach will end up being. He's number 114 on our board. At 115 is John Herbig, 21-year-old center fielder from Arden Arcade, California. He's a college junior, goes to Claremont Mudd Scripps. As you can see, not a baseball powerhouse. Secondary skills are what's key here for John. Plus outfield defense. Also could play up very well in center field, but is considered an elite level left fielder potentially. Above average speed and base running, great range in the defense, a very hard worker. Another one of these guys who really struggles with errors in the outfield. Don't know whether there needs to be some vision correction or what's going on there, but this otherwise, he's got the range. He has the arm. Could see him definitely playing in right field. It's just the bat well below average. If he could just have an average bat and tick up the error rate, he'd be well up the board. That said, he's still, for us, a fourth-round prospect. John Herbig might be worth a look to see what he becomes. He's number 115 for us. Let's move on. Got a CCP here. Chubby Nutsman comes in at number 116, the Mexican-American catcher from Little Rock, Arkansas. Again, boost will determine greatly where he ends up. A CCP catcher probably won't last this long, mid-fourth round. That said, got good framing, good arm, average defensive, slightly above average, actually. In terms of his gap power and avoiding K, he's ahead of the game in terms of his age range. The rest of his skills need to catch up. They more than likely will, being a CCP. Chubby Nutsman, going to be an interesting player. Does he start out as a bench guy and work his way up? We will see as he matures. Should be fun. Chubby Nutsman at 116. Ben Wheelis is an 18-year-old right-handed pitcher from Arlington, Virginia. He comes in at number 117 on our board. Committed to go to Carthage. Definitely a smart guy. Has an old school work ethic, according to our scouts. Very coachable. We all like that. All of his pitches are above average. The fastball is ahead of everything else. The cutter is also ahead of his age range. Where he impresses is in the movement right now, but the control is going to grade out to be his most important feature. Expect him to touch 93 on the gun. The stuff will play out to slightly below average. Bit of a prospect, can go deep into games. Think he's going to be interesting. The character traits will bump him up and will get him a second look. Will accentuate that talent quite a bit. Ben Wheelis is our 117th pick on our draft board. At number 118, Chris Rivera, 20-year-old left-handed shortstop from Calcutta, Ohio. Goes to Purdue, so he's facing great competition. This is another defensive stalwart here. Plays the left side of the infield extremely well. Right now, grades out as a better shortstop. Long term, could potentially be a even better third baseman. Really good understanding of the game, soft hands, makes the good throws, can stand in at the second base bag and turn the double play. Really like him a lot. Like the I and avoid K, gets him some extra looks at the plate. If that contact grows to just slightly below average and the power bat plays up to that, he could be a surprising player. Could get some fifth, sixth spots in an infield. Chris Rivera has an interesting future ahead of him. We will watch him intently as he works his way through the minor leagues. Hingle McCringleberry, our CCP number 119. I think he's the last CCP in this list, but I also know that he's been boosted. Nobody expects him to be here at 119. I think he'll be gone. Committed to Penn State. Don't think he's ever going to see a day of college baseball. Above average hitting profile. Power is more than likely going to be his best quality. Has an above average defensive profile as well. Be a nice right fielder for someone. This is just going to grow, and I think he is going to be a potential everyday starter for whichever team he ends up with. Comes from a good pedigree. Hingle McCringleberry at number 119. And as Kamish said the other night, it ought to be interesting to see Kamish having to say that multiple times in a game of the night broadcast. Coming in at number 120, 20-year-old left-handed Mike Beck. He's from Dublin, California, goes to Long Beach State. He is a center fielder. He's got an above-average contact with above-average speed and above-average center field defense. Only power keeps him from being a five-tool star. Really nice. He's a ground ball hitter, kind of a seeing eye ground ball hitter. Gets bat on the ball efficiently. The gap powers plays up right now. Would like to see that improve a little bit, but he may not have as much. I think we're seeing what we're going to get in terms of power from him. The speed profile plays up very well, more of a base runner than an actual stolen base guy. Needs to back off the aggressiveness there. That potential captain ability here. And I think he's got a nice overall profile for that. Does he see the majors? Some things are going to have to break right for him for that to happen. If he doesn't play in center field, more than likely he would move slot over to left. Will just depend on who's ahead of him and what he does with the opportunities he gets. Mike Beck is our 120th prospect on our board. Steve Koch, 22-year-old right-handed center fielder from Brooklyn, New York, currently goes to Tulane University, has plus gap power, above average corner defense. All of his defensive skills show out to be above average. Leans more towards being a left fielder. The arm is just slightly above average. You could sneak him into right field a little bit, even some potential center field play. Has above average speed, has not really translated to that on the base paths, where we see him as just an average base runner. Not going to expect to see much in the way of stolen bases. The gap power will be sneaky fast and get a few triples, mostly doubles power though. The contact could play up to average, as the power could also be slightly above average. Just tantalizing enough. I think he's going to get a look from someone, and with some development lab and overall focused training throughout the year, Koch could turn into a nice little ball player. He's got the work ethic and the adaptability. He comes in at number 121. At number 122, 21-year-old right-handed starting pitcher Kevin Ryan, the Mexican-American from New York City, goes to school at North Carolina, has done well there. He's got plus slider, has got plus stuff. The fastball is a third pitch. The cutter looks to have the most improvement. He can put some movement on that, and I think that will help him a lot. The control needs some work right now. Will probably play up to be slightly below average. This could be a nice starting pitcher for someone. The nice 3-pitch mix. He's another one that's got that studies hitter tendencies trait, works very hard. I think could make the most of his opportunity. Again, it's a matter of where he lines up, where he ends up. Someone needing some pitching, some good pitching. Ryan could fit the bill at 21, would not need a ton of development. Is close. Once that cutter starts moving forward, I think you could see him in the high minors and above. Kevin Ryan is our 122nd selection on the Backfields Media big board. At number 23, Chris Sword, the 18-year-old right-hander from Thousand Oaks, California. High school senior with a 4-pitch mix. The curveball rates as plus. Slider is the next, and then the changeup and fastball as auxiliary pitches. So that ought to be interesting. Kind of a backwards traditional mix there. Touches 94. The stuff plays up. You've got tremendous stamina, good control. I think this is the kind of young pitcher who could develop into a solid pitcher. It's going to take a little bit, though. Only 18, he's got the time for that. So if he ends up in a farm system that works with him, I think he could be special and could potentially be a back end of the rotation, maybe even as much as third if everything played right. He works hard. We'll see what he does with it. See if he can maximize that talent. Chris Sword comes in at number 123. And I'm kind of sad because we're into our final 10 picks of this, but Josh Blazier is number 124. This is a 21-year-old from New York City, goes to Jefferson College in Pennsylvania. He is a junior. He is a plus to elite defensive outfielder, has good traits, can play all 3 positions, likely could be a center fielder defensively in the major leagues. Very good speed, has plus power, both in the gap and just the raw power. Will he make enough contact? That's going to be the real question here. He is a line drive hitter. He pulls the ball down the left field line a lot, so that's going to come into play. He's very intelligent. He pays attention to what's going on. With that home run ability, someone is going to give him a chance. That bonus demand, I think, is going to need some negotiation. That dropped him a few spots for us, but can't deny the power bat and his speed, along with the defense. He'll get picked, and he'll get a lot of attention from scouts, from coaches. He'll have every opportunity to succeed. It will just come down to what he does with it. Josh Blazier comes in at number 124. Bubba Kulju, 18-year-old starting pitcher, right-hander from Addison, Illinois, high school senior, 3 above-average pitches. The fastball plays up right now. The sinker ultimately will be his best pitch. Going to be a control and home run suppression type pitcher. We're seeing a lot of those in this draft, not a lot of raw stuff. There's a few guys that have it. Most of our starters are relying on pinpoint accuracy and making batters have weak contact. Bubba fits that bill as well. Good personality traits, works extra hard, is very smart. Is kind of a modern day starter. He is not going to go more than twice through the lineup with his stamina. Would like to see that improve. I think that would, keeping his skills out on the mound longer will just expand his value. The stuff will play up to just below average, so it's not a complete lost cause there. It's just that it needs some work. As he starts to rely more on his curveball sinker, I think is when we'll see that jump. And Bubba, he will get picked by someone, and we'll see where he goes. Number 125 is where he lands on our big board. Jake Barrett, 21-year-old left-handed starting pitcher from Washington, D.C., Delaware College junior, plus fastball. Really like the motion on that pitch. Touches 100. So he has got the stuff. Solid mix. It's the traditional 4 pitches. The changeup, I'd love to see that adjust, but the slider is a really good secondary pitch for him. All of his core skills are average or better. Pitches deep into the games. Why is he so low? Been struggling to get those secondary pitches up. The slider's made a little bit of a bump recently, but up until recently, just kind of a one-pitch pitcher with 3 questionable secondary pitches. I like the future for him. Nice appearance on our board. Would like to see the stuff and the control start to rise up as well. Nice profile all around. Could be a steal for someone here. We've got him late in the 4th round, Jake Barrett. Esteban Aguilera, 21-year-old right-handed center fielder from Detroit, Michigan, goes to Marshall. Great power bat, both for gap and just the raw power. Has above average defensive skill in the outfield. Could potentially play all 3 positions. More than likely would kind of hang out in left field. Could sneak in there for a few games at center. The range is what really jumps out at you here. Speed is slightly below average. The base running skills, I think, could use some work. That's a coaching thing. The arm, probably going to keep him in left mostly. More power guy. The eye plays to just slightly below average, as does the contact. Uh, with some coaching and a lot of work, this guy could be a potential major leaguer. I want to say again, I think the defense gets him the most attention here, and the power will get him the reps. Let's see. Esteban Aguilera is our 127th prospect. At number 128, Mark Cesar, 23-year-old right-handed. He's rated as a closer. Above average slider and fastball, has 4 pitches. Stuff grades out to be above average, as does the movement. Control is where he lacks. So I think closer could be a potential role for him here, especially as he maximizes that fastball and slider. I think the changeup and curveball will be just for a kind of throw hitters off for a pitch or two. He's 23 years old, from New Martinsville, West Virginia. Possible bullpen arm here. Had 17 saves in college last year against average competition. In high school, went to IMG. Mark Cesar comes in at 128. At number 129 is Jake Reebold, 21-year-old right-handed reliever, 2-pitch pitcher. Slider is the best pitch, the fastball right behind it. They're both plus. Touches 97. He will strike guys out. Rates to plus stuff. Very good leadership traits, possibly a captain. Takes command out on the mound. Had 14 saves for UNC Asheville last year. As the fastball is already close to major league average. You see that in his overall right now. Not expecting him to be a huge prospect. But again, we're at that kind of stage where we're seeing these 4A guys. And just if everything breaks right, could be a major leaguer. Jake Reebold at number 129. At 130, Full Metal, Mike Gum, 20-year-old right-hander from West Puente Valley, California, goes to Houston, has an elite level curveball with a sinker that's just slightly behind him right now. The curveball is what he's going to rely on the most. Keeps the ball down, has good stuff, and I think he touches 95 with the sinker. I think he misses a lot of bats. A lot of hitters are not looking for the curveball to be the primary pitch. Where he does struggle is with the home run ball right now. Potentially would be average. Has good control. Could ultimately become a 5th starter if he had a 3rd pitch. More than likely a long reliever or someone who could fit that role. Doesn't have a lot of drive. That's going to hurt him as far as development. Gets by on his raw talent, and he's got plenty of it. So we'll see. Mike Gum comes in at number 130. Eric Calhoun is our next to last selection in the 4th round. 22-year-old from Springfield, Mass, goes to East Carolina. Pitches for them. Had 15 saves last year in 19 appearances. Good fastball and cutter, slightly above average. Core skills grade out to average overall or slightly above. Think he's got the stuff to at least get a look. Nice 3-pitch mix there. Touches 96. Is just a bullpen arm. Says he shuts out the stress and puts it on automatic. That suggests to me someone who could play late in high leverage situations. That will be of some value to him. Could stand to bump up the stamina just a bit. Want somebody who can go more than the three batter minimum. I like the tools and I like the way the mix looks. Eric Calhoun comes in at 131. And our last pitcher, our last player of our big board, Louis Barones, 21-year-old relief pitcher from San Juan, Puerto Rico, goes to Southern Mississippi right now, facing some great competition. And as you can see, he's got quite the track record here. College, he's struggled quite a bit, but he's got an above-average fastball. It's starting to fastball and slider have developed very recently. He's a bit of a late bloomer. Also had a late growth spurt. He's now 6'6". He's lifting weights, trying to get some bulk on that frame. A fly ball pitcher, Southern Mississippi, had a very small ballpark. That shows, the home runs were flying out of there for him. He struggled with that. All of that said, he's now starting to grow into his body and starting to figure out how to pitch now as a 6'6" kind of guy. So this is our gamble pick. He's a big project, could potentially work his way into being a starter. This is where we see him at. There's some potential here. Louis Barones is our final pick at number 132. Let's see where he goes overall in the draft, which is tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern, the first two rounds. Then Wednesday, we'll have rounds 3 through 5. And then on the Discord, you'll see the draft live as it happens. It is the most wonderful time of the year, to steal from the Christmas song. Join us. You will never look back. It is just simply the best. Also, Tuesday and Thursday night, 7 p.m. game of the night. Sunday, coffee with the commish at 10 a.m. The Discord is always running. You'll see general managers talking about all-star game snubs and where they think folks are going. The trade talk is always going. It's an amazing community. Some really great people there too, got to tell you. It's really rekindled my love for baseball, personally. Love this universe. Come join us. If you like this preview, give us a thumbs up. Tell us what you liked about it. Please subscribe. And until tomorrow night, when we have the first round, I'm Tim Lowry. For all of the supporters and all of the folks at Backfields Media, thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow night for the draft.